Yeah, I'm here, John.
What's going on, Deb?
John, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on?
Okay, I just want to show you, we have now probably about 24 arrests here. These are protesters. They had walked from the West Side Highway up to
Deb, can I ask you something? I hate to cut you off here.
When they
I want
got
to
here
ask
to
you
Times
something.
Square. Yeah, please.
So we're looking at live pictures here, and I'm not sure exactly where they are in the city, but we witnessed some sort of commotion between protesters and police. Are you anywhere near that?
Well, it's interesting. We're not. We're at Times Square. The police were successfully able to break up this crowd. It was very interesting. They were much more aggressive on the second night than they had been on the first night. The protesters, as they began walking up, it appears that the NYPD may even have used ambulances because the demonstrators were very respectful. And whenever an ambulance would come, they would immediately get on the sidewalk, and that's when police essentially blocked the protesters, allowing just a couple through at a time, thereby breaking up the energy, breaking up the numbers, so that ultimately the protesters simply became lost and separated from one another. When these protesters turned around, you can see more. They're just coming. They keep coming.
Hey, Deb.
These protesters, when they walked back down, they were all arrested, John.
Yeah, Deb, where are you? Because what we're looking at pictures of 7th Avenue and 43rd Street. And again, I'm not sure if you're close to it, but if you're just tuning in, I want to hang on, Deb.
Yeah,
I want to tell our viewers that we're looking at pictures from 7th Avenue and 43rd Street in Times Square. There's been a commotion between police officers and the protesters. You see the protesters crowded around police cars. There was a big skirmish just a short time ago, and you see there some people being arrested at the top of your screen and being placed in restraints.
Why were you arrested?
And the officers have been going up against those protesters. Deborah Farrick is also in Times Square. She's in a different part of Times Square. She's asking an officer now why they were arresting him. Deb, if you get that, just jump in. But again, this is what we're looking at now. And look at the people being pushed up against that police car. That is not safe. And again, this is the first that we have seen any real
Why were you arrested?
For standing and protesting.
Unrest.
They punched me and arrested me.
Why were you arrested?
I pulled someone away and then they tackled me and another officer. They're tackling people and arresting them.
Deb, you're live, by the way.
Why? What were you doing?
I was walking out, an officer pulled me and pulled other people away from them. I hit a cop. Oh, you mean when I was on the floor with
Why did they arrest you?
and my sweater open? They wouldn't let us walk through Times Square.
What did the other guy say, Deb? Deborah Farrick, can you hear me? Apparently we lost communication with Deborah Farrick. But again, you can see that what's going on in Times Square. Obviously, it's a very fluid situation, and in situations like this, we can't always get in contact with our correspondents. You heard Deborah Farrick talking to some of the protesters there who had been restrained or arrested, and they're saying they wouldn't let us walk through Times Square. So on the right of your screen, those are the people who have been arrested. On the left of your screen, you're looking at people who are, some of them appear to be in a skirmish with police officers. And it was a bit rougher just a short time ago as we continue to look at these pictures. And you can see them putting the classic restraint on the right side of your screen. I want to bring in now Jeffrey Toobin. He is our we're going to keep these pictures up, our senior legal analyst here on CNN, and then forensic pathologist Dr. Cyril Weck. So, Jeffrey, to you first. This had been pretty peaceful for the most part here in New York City.